Hey guys, Radical Reggie here, and today we're doing an unboxing of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. This is the collector's edition. Let's take a look. I actually got this at GameStop for $50, and I thought that was a great deal. Originally, this game came out at 200 bucks, and well, the collector's edition did, and that is way too much money, I think. But we're gonna go ahead and look at the insides. Maybe it's worth 200 bucks to some people. I don't know. But here is the deluxe edition game itself. Comes with DLC code, a nice little cool cover here. I should have probably just maybe cut this open a little bit so it would have been a faster process, but whatever. I'm never good at these videos, and once you start, you can't really stop. Now, originally, I was going to open this up for the celebration of the movie that came out, Avengers. I think it was Endgame. But unfortunately, I still haven't seen that in the theaters yet. So maybe sometime this week I'll go. The styrofoam is pretty cool here. As you're seeing, it has the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite printed on there. That's pretty cool. But I really need to go see the movie because everybody's raving about it, and hopefully it's as good as the comics as I read back in school. I read the Infinity Gauntlet, the 4-issue miniseries. It was pretty badass. I mean, we're talking about heroes were getting their asses killed. I mean, bad. Like, I remember Spider-Man getting beat to death with a rock. That was pretty insane. But anyways, going back to this, honestly, I have no idea where I'm going to put this stuff, so I'm just going to open it up and put it back in. But from what I was told, my friend told me that this actually comes with some nice statues, so I'm looking forward to checking them out. This thing is pretty annoying to open. I think in the next unboxing video, I'll make sure I just have everything open and ready to go, and then we can just tour it real fast, and that way it'll be a faster video than doing all this crap. All right, so we got through the hardest part, and now we get to look at the spoils. Let's check out the Infinity Gauntlet here. Yeah. Oh. Huh. I remember it being a little bit shinier. Huh. Okay, we'll set those down here. We got 4 action figures to look at. All right, here we go. Mega Man X, or just call him X. And he's probably one of my favorite Capcom mascots out there. Finally in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. You made it, buddy. And next here we have Captain Marvel. Somebody got to tell me why some people don't like the actress that played Captain Marvel for some reason. I don't know what's up with that, but I know like something about the cast in the movies don't really like her. She's really weird. Is that true, or I don't know? But anyways, there's Captain Marvel, and let's see what else we have here. The beautiful Chung-Li. There we go. She hopefully they fixed her face in the game. Remember her face expression back in the day, like how she looked like a Gerber baby? Hopefully they fixed that in the game. And now we have Iron Man, Tony Stark here. Superior tech. See how he looks. Perfect. And there's batteries down there, as you can see. I think they go to something. I don't know what they go to yet, but they're there. But I probably won't be using them. And that is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. These are the characters. Is this worth 200 bucks? I would say hell no, it ain't worth 200 bucks. It's worth around what I paid for it, $50. I can't believe they were asking for 200 for this, but that's Capcom for you. Now let's take a look at some gameplay. All right, so Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. This game, to be honest with you guys, it really reminds me of the first Marvel vs. Capcom game. Now, that game came out back when I was in high school. Great times. I remember catching a bus home and decided to stop by the gas station, and I found the game there, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this game is out. Like, this is insane. So I played it, really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun until you got the Onslaught, the final boss, which was very annoying. Back when I was in arcade, most people would try to beat the arcade game instead of for trying each other in games first to see the ending and everything, or mainly see what the boss was because they want to see how crazy it was. Onslaught was terribly hard. I never got the gimmick to beating him. I beat him by chance a couple of times, but it was just really annoying. Now, Marvel's Capcom 2, I consider that the best game in the series. It had everybody in it. Um, it was just all around great. They brought everybody into that game. It was just really freaking fantastic. Now, to me, the series never really lived up to that hype again. After part two, it came close with Marvel Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, which is a great game. But that game, I would say, got to the point where it was like really too easy to do combos. Like automatic combos. Pretty much, you just push the jab jab button and you do all this crazy stuff. Um, Not saying it didn't take skill, but they made the game for people who had skills and for beginners as well. So it kind of threw me off. Now, Marvel's Capcom Infinite, as you can see here, I think the game is pretty solid, man. I'm having a good time with it, but at the same time, it feels like a step back. Thankfully, Capcom didn't add the Marvel's Capcom forward to the. If they added the forward to this, man, people would have been pissed. That would have kind of maybe just ruin the franchise. It's very important for companies to decide whether they put a number or a freaking side game in their title. With this one being a side game, I would call it Infinite. They didn't add a forward to it, thankfully. But this game, honestly, what throws me off about it is that I would say the graphics, they just look too simplistic in a way. I just wish there was a little bit more expression, animations, and character faces. One thing it did win me over with the game is that Mega Man X is in the game. I always wanted him as a playable character, and they finally were able to do that with this game. But honestly, even Mega Man X couldn't save the game. One of the big problems with these games, and this Capcom has started doing, is that they think that they could just make a bunch of DLC characters, for you to download later or for a season pass. People are attracted to, at least in my generation, and like weird saying my generation, I sound like an old man here, but they want a solid roster before you start adding DLC characters on there. A lot of the DLC characters that were available in this game should have already been available on the disc, and I'm talking about Sigma being one of them because Ultron Sigma is the final boss. So why isn't regular Sigma already a regular character in the game? Why is he a part of a season pass? That doesn't make any sense. But that seems to be part of Capcom's business practices. Hey, cut some of these characters out, make them DLC so people will pay money for them later. And you could really tell a lot of these characters they were already probably ready to go before the game came out, and they could have been on the regular disc. You could kind of tell what characters are DLC characters, and characters that they say, hey, let's make these characters afterwards and see if we can make some more money or whatever. But these characters in this game, they just felt like they should have already been available, especially knowing Marvel vs. Capcom's roster. They always known for having really solid rosters and big rosters, especially compared to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They'll never live up to that again because they're just these corporations. I mean, I hate to say about Capcom, but they're too greedy. I mean, there's the head guy that's too greedy. Said, "Nah, make these DLC characters so they can pay for them later." We'll never get a crazy roster like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But in saying that, though, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 used a lot of original sprites from old games, so I guess it was easy to bring a lot of characters into that game. I mean, for the newer games, they're actually making these new characters, so I'll give them a little credit for that. But other than that, though, like I said, I do like the game. It just feels like a step back, but it is fun though, and I like the way that you're able to use the Infinity Gems. You pretty much pick one at the beginning of the battle, and that's the one you're going to use throughout the game. So that's pretty cool. And depending on if you know how to use them, that's how it's going to work out for you. So you're probably wondering why I'm not really talking about too much gameplay. Well, as you can see, it's self-explanatory. It's fast action all over the place, combo heavy, super moves, very action oriented. I really feel like these games are really just, I don't want to say button mashers, but I pretty much was button mashing through this game, and it was a lot of fun. I feel weird saying that because I usually use a lot of skill with these games, but I was just pushing buttons, kind of doing combos and everything. It was a lot of fun. And basically, what I'm saying is, if you haven't played any fighting games or you're not really into fighting games, this one might be fun for you to start at. You know, if you want to get into the craziness of a verse fighting game like Marvel vs. Capcom, because these games are all over the place, and as you can see, the action looks a lot of fun. It's just really, I want to say, fantastic, gameplay wise. I don't know how this game did as far as sales. I know it was a bit of a disappointment to people, but hopefully that Capcom has the license for the Marvel characters. Hopefully they'll do another game, and this time they'll put a lot of heart into it. They won't go the cheap route, and they'll add a lot of characters into it, do a lot of things with the graphics, just really make it feel like a true sequel. Because with games like Mortal Kombat out there, I mean, that is how a fighting game is with production value wise. I mean, seriously, the story mode in that game, insane arcade mode. It just a lot of detail into it. But this game's story mode is pretty mess. So you might want to just, yeah, the story mode was just horrible. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Marvel's Capcom Infinite, is it worth getting? Yeah, pick this sucker up if you get it for 10, 20 bucks at the most. And if you could pay more for the deluxe edition, like the collector's edition, like I did. I paid $50 for it, and it was totally worth it.
The past is not important, only the future.